In this guitar lesson, I'm going to teach you how to play Wicked Game by Chris Isaak. Now, this is one of my favourite songs to play. It's got a great vibe, a great tune and some great lyrics. It's fairly easy actually. There are only 3 chords, although 2 of them are bar chords. So because it's easy, as well as showing you the chords and a strumming pattern, I'll also show you some of the lead work too. Okay, we'll get started right away with the chords. So our first chord is a bar B minor at the 7th fret. Now our next chord is going to be A major. To get there, move your bar B minor down 2 frets and then just put your middle finger on the 3rd string 6th fret, and that's your A major. And our next chord will be E major. To get there, remove your index finger, remove your pointer in other words, and slide everything down to the open position. And that's your E major. And we're going to continue playing those 3 chords in that order throughout the song. Verses and choruses. So B minor, followed by A major, followed by E major. World was on fire, no one could save me but you. Strange what desire makes foolish people do. So you're just going to repeat that chord sequence throughout the whole song. So remember, it's B minor, bar at the 7th fret, A major, bar at the 5th fret, and then open E major. Now, let's think about the strumming pattern then. So the strumming pattern we're going to use is basically down, 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 up, down, up. So you play that once on the B minor, you go to the A major, and you play the same strumming pattern once on the A major, down, 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 up, down, up. And then we go to the E major, and we're going to play that same strumming pattern on the E major, but we're going to do it twice. Down, 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 up, down. Now, to make that strumming pattern sound nice, what you're going to do, or what I suggest you do anyway, is on the first down, pick out mainly the bass strings. So 6th string and a bit of the 5th string. On the second down, pick out the treble strings, so strings 3, 2 and 1, maybe a bit of 4. So we've got bass, treble, and then back to the bass string on the next down. And then on the up, down, up, go for the treble strings again. So we've got bass, treble, 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 like that. Bass, treble, treble, treble. And if you do that, it's going to sound really nice. So hold your pick lightly in your hand. Don't hit the strings too hard. Keep it nice and gentle, nice and soft, and try and caress those strings a bit. Okay, in a moment I'm going to show you some of the lead work that you can put in on Wicked Game. But just before I do that, let me say, if you've enjoyed this guitar lesson, please do hit the like button, and if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe, and then you'll be notified about all the future guitar lessons that I release. Okay, let's look at some of the lead work that you can put in on Wicked Game next. So right near the start of the song, there's a really nice piece of lead guitar. Let me play it for you first, and then I'll break it down for you. It's going to sound a bit like this. All right. Now, has to be said, if you happen to have an electric guitar, particularly if it's a Stratocaster, a Strat, that will sound really great on a Strat, particularly if you put a bit of reverb on your amp, and if you've got a delay pedal, use that as well. If you've got a tremolo arm on your Strat, make good use of that. It'll sound fantastic. Having said all that, this is an acoustic music channel, so we're going to learn it on acoustic guitar, but all the fingering is the same, all the guitar work is the same, whether it's acoustic or electric. We're just going to learn it on acoustic. Now, what I'm going to do is to zoom in and show you what I'm doing. So we'll zoom in and look at the fingers next. So the opening note of that lovely little piece of guitar playing is on the 3rd string, 4th fret. You can use your index finger, play that 3rd string. Next, you're going to put your little finger on the 2nd string, 7th fret, and play that 2nd string. So we have this. Now, I think that works well on an acoustic guitar. I think what the guitarist is doing on the Chris Isaak record, and this is an electric guitar on the record, is actually, rather than playing 2nd string 7th fret, I think they're playing 2nd string 6th fret and bending up to the F sharp, which is what you'd get at the 7th fret. But on acoustic, I tend to just play that 2nd string at the 7th fret. Okay, so we have this. Now we're going to play that 2nd string again at the 7th fret, and when we've played it, we're going to slide our little finger down the fretboard and then play the 2nd string open. So the first half of that phrase sounds like this. The second half begins in the same way, so 3rd string 4th fret, followed by 2nd string 7th fret, but then we have this. So let me show you how to play that. Now, you're going to start with your fingers in this position. So this is a partial A major actually, and I've got my ring finger on the 4th string 7th fret, my middle finger on the 3rd string 6th fret, and then I'm barring the top 2 strings with my index finger with my pointer at the 5th fret. Actually, you're not going to play the top string, so I'm really doing that bar out of habit. All you really need to do is to fret the 2nd string 5th fret with your index finger, but I'm barring. Okay, now we want this sound. All right, so how do we get that sound? Well, what we do is we're going to damp the strings with our right hand. So I'm putting my right hand just here, okay, this part of my right hand, just against the strings, on the strings in fact, just by the bridge there. That's giving me my damping effect. Now I'm going to play the 4th string and the 3rd string, and this is really a raking motion, so it's quite quickly. Okay, now before I get to that 2nd string though, and I can take off my damping, and then we have this. Okay, it's a lovely effect, you have to practice it a bit. So remember, you're damping on the 4th string and the 3rd string, but not when you get to the 2nd string. Okay, having done that, you can just slide your index finger, your pointer, down 2 frets to the 3rd fret. You're still on the 2nd string, play that 2nd string, then slide down 1 more fret to the 2nd fret, play the 2nd string again, and then play the 2nd string open. So we have this. All right, and finally we've got a little slide up to finish this lovely little guitar phrase off, and you're going to play that slide up by putting your ring finger on the 4th string 2nd fret. You're going to play that 4th string and slide your ring finger up 2 frets to the 4th fret, and then put your index finger or pointer on the 3rd string 2nd fret, play that 3rd string. So we have this, and then take your ring finger off, slide your index finger down to 3rd string 1st fret, put your middle finger on 4th string 2nd fret. This is a bit of an E major chord, by the way, and just play the 4th and 3rd string together. So we have this. So I put the whole of that lovely little introductory guitar phrase together. This is what we've got. Now, as well as that lovely piece of lead near the start of the song, there's also a really iconic lead guitar part that comes in quite near the beginning of the song and then during or shortly after each of the choruses. And it sounds like this. So we'll zoom in and I'll show you how to play that now. Okay, so to play that iconic riff, we're going to start with our left hand in this position. So I've got my index finger, my pointer on the top string 2nd fret. I've got my middle finger on the 2nd string 3rd fret there, and I've got my ring finger on the 3rd string 4th fret. Now that's actually part of a B minor chord, so effectively we're playing a B minor chord there, and we're going to begin by playing the top string, then the 2nd string, and then the 3rd string. So we begin like this. Now you're going to remove your pointer, your index finger, from that top string so it's open, and you're going to play the top string and the 2nd string. So far we have this. Now you're going to remove your middle finger from the 2nd string, and you're going to put your index finger on the 2nd string, 2nd fret, and you can play the 2nd string and then the 3rd string. Now you're going to remove your index finger from the 2nd string and play that 2nd string open, and play the 3rd string again. So we have this from the top of this riff. And then we play the 2nd string again, open, and then we're going to remove our ring finger from the 3rd string, put our index finger on the 3rd string 2nd fret, and play that. So let me play that from the top for you again. Here we go. Now just slide your index finger down on that 3rd string to the 1st fret and play that 3rd string again. And now you're going to do a little slide like this. So you're using your index finger for that slide. It's entirely on the 3rd string. You're going to slide first of all from the 1st fret to the 2nd fret, and then from the 2nd fret to the 4th fret. So we have this: 1st fret to 2nd fret, 2nd fret to 4th fret. So if we play the whole of that riff, this is what it will sound like.